Hello everyone, Kelly here, and I'm just going to share a quick little card with you today. This technique we're going to be doing is the curtain fold card. So what we need to get started with this card is 2 sheets of patterned 12 by 12 paper. And one of them needs to be double-sided, and we need it to be double-sided so that the print on the underside does show through on the curtain. So from there, we are going to also need a 8.5 by 11 sheet of white cardstock. This is the 110-pound cardstock. So then we need a piece cut. So we're going to need for our curtain a, let's see, this is a 4 by 11. So 4 by 11. So just make sure you get this one for the print that you want for the curtain. And then we are going to get out of here the things I don't need. We're going to need a piece of base to go underneath the card here, which that's the inside of the card. So this one here, and it is 3 1/4 by 4. So that's going to go underneath there. Then we cut another piece of white card, and I do that just so things are more even and level here when I put my border on. So this piece is going to be, what is this piece? 2 by 4. Okay, this one's 2 inches by 4 inches, so it fits right at the top there. Then we have a little strip, if I can pick it up. And this is a 1/2 inch by 4 inches. Then we're going to have a piece for the inside, because we are going to finish the inside of the card pretty simply, but we're going to finish it. So this is 4 by 5 1/4. And then we're going to put a piece of white that is 3 1/4 by 4, and that's what we're going to stamp our sentiment on. Okay, then other supplies that I am using is Tim Holtz thinlits, and this is the, what do they call this? The bows, fold up bows. And I will have the numbers on a PDF that will be available to you, and all the instructions should be above the video. So we have that. And I have already cut my bow pieces out. There was another little piece. I'll have to find that goes in the middle. Under here somewhere, I'm assuming. And then we are going to use the Happy Birthday sentiment and a couple from here of the sentiments to go inside of the card. And this is Crazy Talk by Tim Holtz. And the balloons I used are from the Crazy Things by Tim Holtz. So I just used the 2 balloons off of this one. And I already stamped those and cut them out, fussy cut them out. There is dies that go with those, but I just fussy cut these out. And I don't know what that piece was for. So to get started, oh, there's that little piece that goes with the bow. So good job. We're going to take our piece of 4 by 11 inch paper, and we are going to cut it. Let me widen this. So we are going to cut this by lining up You could make a little 1-inch mark on each opposite ends and line your trimmer up with that. But I am just going to line the corner up on the 1-inch and then the opposing corner on the 1-inch of the other end of my trimmer. And before I cut, I just make sure they're both lined up. And so then you are going to have two pieces that look like this. Okay, so while we have the trimmer out, we're going to take our 8.5 by 11 piece of white 110 cardstock, and we are going to cut it in half lengthwise at the 4.5. Actually, we're cutting it at 4.25 because we want it exactly in half so we can have two cards. So that's how you get two cards out of the I think that's an A2 size card. So we're just going to use one of these for this. Now we are going to score that. So we are 11 long, so we're going to score at 5.5. And then just get a nice crisp fold on that. So now while we have our scoreboard out, I'm going to take one of my sheets here, and I want the one with the smallest end, and that's going to be, so the smallest end's over here, so my print is going to be this print that's right side up. So you can kind of see what we're doing here. So now we are going to score that at 1 inch and 2 inches. And then at 4 and 5. And then again at 7 and 8. And then at 10. Now if you can kind of see what I did there, is we have 1-inch pleats. So I wanted to fold it under an inch. So that's why I went with the 2 inches here. And then we want a 2-inch span so that when we fold it under an inch, we have an inch showing all the way across. So now we're done with our score tool here. So here's our base. We'll come back in here a little closer. So with our base, now I'm going to use this art glitter glue. I just love this glue. So it comes in white and clear, and I only have the white right now, or I would just buy the clear, but I was out of stock. We do have it back in now, but the white won't be showing for anything, so we're going to be fine. So I am going to start by adhering my bottom part to the card, and we're going to leave so that we have a white space evenly all the way around. And then I just kind of compare that so that when I add my top piece, we're even kind of all the way around. Okay, so then I'm just going to put a little bit of the glue on here. You don't want to overdo it. It sticks really well. But it also gives you time to move things around a little bit. Okay, there's that one. Now we're gonna stick down our piece of white 2x4. And I'm just gonna butt that up next to, or if you're a little off, we can raise it. Not a problem, because we're gonna cover that line up. So there we have our start. So now we are going to make our curtain. And I thought I was done with my squirt. I'm gonna get a tool so that I can burnish my edges here. So we're gonna start by folding. We want this to be down, and then we're gonna flip it back. And then fold under. Let me see how I did that. There we go. So then you fold that one under. And then you're gonna fold again. And then we fold it again. Now I'm gonna go in and make sure all my lines, my folds are nice and pressed. So there you have that. Now I just kind of go in and I'm going to put a little bit of glue at the top. Just to keep it stuck down on the edges there, and then flip it over and do kind of the same. It doesn't take much of this glue. You just want to keep it so it from popping up. Okay. Now we're going to line this one up right at the top of the green. And you can use score tape or you can use the glue, whichever you prefer. Maybe I'll put a little score tape on this one. It's not a problem. I used glue on the first one. Line it right up at the top there. So we have that all down. Now I kind of like to have a little bit, so I kind of go in and just don't get too rough with it, but I'm kind of making a little bit so it doesn't look like it's quite as flat after I've got it all stuck down. So it has a little bit of a dimension to it. Okay, now we let's put our balloons down, and I'm just gonna position those kind of play with them here and figure out how I want them. I did put a little pop dot type of thing on the back of the two. Now if I would have done two yellow littler balloons, I would have lined them up a little differently, but we did them this way, so we're going to go with it. So I think we'll just kind of do that. So I'll stick my first one down. Then these have stickums on them. You can put a little dot of glue on there if you're afraid that it won't stick. Just kind of figure out what looks good to you and stick her down. Kind of like that. Now, if I had handy here just some regular like black sewing thread, I would just hook them to the bottoms of my balloons and run them down to the bottom here, the strings, and have real strings on there. But I do not have any on hand, so I'm just going to draw in with a marker from my strings coming down kind of as lightly as I can. Then we're going to adhere our 1/2 inch by 4 inch strip. Now again, you can use score tape or glue. I'm actually going to use score tape this time to see. We're on kind of a little bit of a bump here, so score tape might hold better, but this one's glue and it held just fine. So I'm just going to kind of evenly over the two line that up. All right, now we need to do our bow. So this is how it comes cut out. And we're just going to kind of bend the bow a little bit in the middle. And then the other side. You kind of have to play with this a little bit. Now you could just do a regular bow, and you could just put ribbon across here and a regular ribbon bow if you wish. But I'm going to you kind of just need to figure out your ends of your bows so that they come out the way that you want it. Kind of have to put it under there and twist it a little bit. Okay. Now I'm going to use a little bit of glue first to see if I can get everything to stick where I want it. And then we're going to add our little center piece in the middle. Okay, I think I got that to stick down. Now we need to put the center in here, which kind of goes between my and I'm just going to I'm going to adjust it a little bit because if I wrap it all the way around, it's in the way of my bows. So we're just going to put a little bit of glue on both sides of this little tab. There. Then just fluff it up, kind of bend it how you want it. And we're going to attach it to the card, kind of right where all the balloons are supposed to kind of meet together. And that glue works so good, it's already stuck. Okay, so now we are going to take we have a stamping block, and out of our stamp set, we're gonna get our happy birthday. This set's really cool though, because it has every occasion on there with some different things you can put on the inside. One of my favorite stamp sets. So we're gonna put our happy birthday right here. Should have maybe done that before I put my bow on. But we're gonna line it right there. It's on my stamping block straight, so I'm just gonna use some Memento black ink. And we're gonna put it right there. There you have happy birthday. Now we're going to do the inside. So we're gonna put our green on in here. You could put that either way, maybe on this one. I think I will do a print side. Now with this glue, you do want to be really careful, and when you're not using it, you put like a pin in the tip to keep it from clogging up. I did have some more of those tips on order, but they didn't send them to me, so I'm still trying to get some. We will get them back in stock. Okay. Now a lot of times when I'm making a card, I'm going to distress my edges and ink them up. But I chose to keep this one all nice and clean. But if you wanted to grunge it up a little bit, I think it'd look really cool with the edges of everything all inked. But you would have to ink your paper if you do that, your strip, before you fold it. Make it easier. Okay, so on the inside here, I am going to put a little birdie told me it's your birthday. And then we're going to put it up higher like that so that you can sign it underneath. And I like my little white grids on here because it helps me line or get it straight. Okay, just stamp this down here. There you have that. Clean off our stamps here and so there you have the inside. Now all I did to finish this off was I took a little bit of glossy accents and I just kind of highlighted on the edges of my balloons just to make a little bit of a shine. And there you have it. A curtain fold card. Now the instructions are going to be available PDF and they are going to be all written out in the description above. So however you would like to get them, they'll be there for you. Thank you for watching.